Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Lunkers and Bucks. Hope everything is well. Glad to see you again. If this is your first time, please like and subscribe. Today, I'm going to make a second attempt at making boilies. This time, to probably save my life, I'm going to do it outside of the kitchen and in the backyard. Didn't go as well as planned last time. Um, Boilies typically are what you use to catch catfish, carp. I'm going to make them today more for carp than anything else. Mixture of flour. We've got sweet corn mixed with some eggs and, of course, water, to make it stickier. And then we're going to boil them and we're going to microwave them so that they will float. I'm also going to make a second batch out of goldfish food. Uh, did that many years ago as a child. Fish with basically dough that was mixed with fish food. I'm going to attempt to make the same thing again. Carp season for me is right around the corner, and I'm going to go ahead and make some of this stuff up before we actually get into prime time. Spring turkey's right around the corner in 3 weeks, so I've done some scouting. I've seen some nice turkey out there that's coming up. But today, again, we're going to attempt the second try at boilies. Let's give it a shot.
Ultimately, what you want to use is a half a box of corn flakes crushed up. You don't want it powder, just crush it up. Use a food processor. My house, we're gluten-free, and there's lots of gluten in cornflakes and really everything in this recipe. So basically, I'm putting it in a plastic bag, and I'm going to use that. Crush it up. I'm also using 2 eggs to keep everything together, a cup of flour, and of course, we're using a half a can of sweet corn, cream sweet corn, pretty good tasting in itself. But and then we're going to put all of that together. And you want this to be a little bit crushed, but not quite powder. Again, that's going to be the meat and potatoes of what we're putting together here. Then, it doesn't take but a second to really add all the ingredients together. It's pretty easy. It's making the balls that can be time consuming. So I like to put the eggs in there, then the cream of corn, mix it all together. It mixes better when you do it that way versus putting one thing in at a time in the bowl with the cornflakes. Pour that in there. On the first try, I did this inside and everything got everywhere. First, then you put the cup of flour in there. Take the wedding ring off. Don't want that baked up in the boilies. Now, a lot of people use gloves. I'm just impatient, so I'm just going right at it. About 5 minutes later, and this stuff is just about ready. I had a hard time finding the right consistency of moisture. You can add some more sweet corn, add some more liquid in there if you want. You just want to be kind of doughy. I had it a little bit too chunky, I think, but it still came out. Yeah, that gets tiring after a while. So, being old, I had to sit down on the bench. Add a little bit more to it because it was getting hard as a rock. All right, so that was close enough. I'm balling it up. Again, probably not as moist as it should be. Making balls decent size. Again, catfish and carp will eat this. So I made different sizes, big and small. And the carp's mouth aren't exactly huge, so you don't want them too big. But again, I think it's close enough.
Guess it was a good call to do this outside for the second try. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm not sure how this happens. It just got out of control. But I did get a couple plates of boilies. They look a little drier than I had thought, not as doughy as I probably should be. But I'm going to try to cook them now. I'm going to put them in one plate in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and then I'm going to boil the other ones. I'm going to let this sit and come clean it a little bit later. But again, we're getting there.
So at this stage of the game, you boil water for about 5 minutes, and then pull them on out, or you can nuke them in the microwave for 30 seconds. Apparently, the boiled ones are supposed to go to the bottom, whereas the ones you microwave should float when you put them in the water. Not really sure, but I'm going to find out a little bit later. Stay tuned because we are going fishing.
So that's what I came up with. I boiled them, and I also had a stash of them that I nuked. I don't think I had enough moisture in it. Definitely smells like dough and corn, so not so bad. No bites yet. Hooks come up empty a couple times, so I don't know if that was just the bait falling off the hook after it got wet, or something took it off the hook. We have a bunch of little catfish and this carp out here. I haven't seen anything come by this morning. Normally I would, but it's still real early. But in summertime you'll see a lot of carp up in here, shallows, but so far nothing. And it's only about 6 inches deep here, and then on the other side a couple feet. But usually there's something coming through here of decent size. But first time out, not so bad. We'll see. These were the ones that I microwaved, which is supposed to make them float. Didn't exactly float. Day's not over.